What is up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to the Shoshimin series, this time with episode 10, which I believe is the last episode, sadly. Last episode was crazy, though. Recontextualizing the whole of the last arc, as well as the whole of summer for these guys. With Osanai setting this whole situation up, but it turns out that Kabato actually knew that she was setting up. There was very much details throughout that you could have picked up on. I didn't. That might have told you that could have been the case, but I think knowing Osanai's nature, it always could have been the case to me, and that more so told me that this might be the case rather than the hints that were left. But yeah, it was quite scary, honestly, last week. The crocodile tears from Osanai as well, crying over the situation, like she didn't set this all up just for a few extra charges. But I think I did mention last week how she has committed so many crimes throughout this series. And I did see a tweet just after the episode last week saying them all, and there was a lot. There was a lot of crimes. As much as they're in a very similar position, Osanai and Kobato, I mean, I guess, what would he be deemed? I guess he would be deemed a criminal for withholding evidence, but he's, I guess, a lot less of a kind of criminal than Osanai. He's a lot less. There's a lot of words for it. He's calculated, but not like. It's hard. He's not as mean, but that's too easy a word to say about it, if you know what I'm saying. And I say mean, I love Osanai. I think she's one of the best characters this year, to be honest with you, let alone this season. I really like her character. As much as I always struggle to remember her name. It's incredible, isn't it? She managed to manipulate it so someone actually believes they came up with a plan themselves. And fair play. Fair play, Sanai, honestly. Yeah, but they're also criminals, so I don't care. I don't care that it's wrong. How much wrong do we see happen to Osanai throughout the series? Oh, yes. No big deal to me. They committed the crimes anyway, if you know what I'm saying. And she added a few on there with the whole ransom and such, but that came from what they were willing to do, if you know what I'm saying. Those girls, they were willing to be in that situation, so he does every episode. Yeah, that is the thing, isn't it? She done all this, but like I said, she done all this because these girls committed crimes against her. Like I said, they committed the crime that led to her making up the ransom. Like if they never abducted her or anything, which again, I know she planned for it, but they went through in their heads and accepted the fact that they'd be capturing someone. That we wouldn't have been able to frame them for the ransom or anything if they didn't capture her in the first place. So I don't. I mean, it's wrong morally in a sense, I guess, but it's not that wrong. If you know what I'm saying. Like I wouldn't like if she was my friend. Power to you. Power to you. Do this. They fucking kidnapped you. Even if you planned for them to, they went ahead of it. I don't really see much wrong with what he's doing as well, though. Like I don't mind him being quite passionate about this kind of stuff, though. Actually, I don't think that's a bad thing. It can get you in trouble, such, yeah. But morally, that's the thing, isn't it? I don't think he's really. I don't think he's really paying attention to emotions. And what she felt like during all this. Yes, she was cold and calculated, but ultimately, it all came from her misfortune, her suffering. I think especially Kabato, you could see as an arrogant teenager for sure. He's not, but he's just that smart. It seems that way to normal people. I've got all these extras in the background as well. For normal, sorry to pause again, but for normal people, I think I've seen places it is said, and I've felt this way before a few times. Definitely, you do get angry at people that are more smart than you, especially when they do try and like shove it in your face. I think that's especially something that really grates on everybody. Even if you're stupid or if you're smart, if there's someone is smarter, then you're like, if you're a genius and someone's smarter, they might even be more intense kind of hatred towards that person. But I think again, when it kind of seems kind of showy offy, like the way he presents stuff about it really does seem like he's like it's like some kind of presenter in like a mystery drama or something, and he's got to cover everything. He's got to explain it as much as possible. in as much detail as possible. You can understand, especially in school, you can understand how someone like him would be absolutely hated, can't you? And I think it's maybe like a threat thing as well, like just again, just out of human nature, just a threat's gone off. I've also seen a thing of like, let's say Kabato's like the genius and these are all the stupids. Again, they're not stupids, they're just normal people, but the stupids, they tend to band together against the bigger threat, the bigger danger, the smarter person, and evidently kind of shun them from the group. You see that quite a bit in like animal nature, obviously not to do with smartness or IQ in animal nature, but in different ways. I've always thought that was quite interesting. I think he can continue doing what he's doing. He just needs to do it like maybe in a different way. I don't want to hear that. I want a season 2. I didn't realise. I'm pretty sure it's Hyoka, which is another work by this author. I think that's by the studio. I can't remember what they're called now. The one behind Violet Evergarden, Kyoto. So I definitely need to watch that. 1, because it's by the author of this. 2, because that studio never had a work that I don't like, or even average on, like everything they've done. And you're not. What good is there in being ordinary? So what? I mean, it's definitely more negative in Osanai's case. In terms of the more she does this, probably the more chances she actually will go to prison. But yeah, I totally agree. Not effective for that purpose, but maybe for the purpose of being friends. It does. I mean, that sounds exactly the same. Like, who are these guys meant to relate to, other than each other? Why? Does that mean something? I just finished a homework assignment from middle school today. Is that her saying that she's like actually trying to become ordinary now? I don't know. I feel like that's saying something, but I just don't understand what. That's a pretty out there thing to say. I would have it any meaning. It's like me going to the pub or something with my friends and saying, "Oh yeah, you know what? I had a bit of maths homework from 20 years ago. I just finished it today." Obviously, not 20 years ago, but yeah. I say maths homework because I'd never done homework in general. You guys know maths was my favourite subject, but I didn't even do maths homework. I done no homework. To be honest with you, I don't know. Like I said, who these guys are going to relate to. I don't know how these guys are not going to get married. If you know what I'm saying. Like, I can't imagine these guys marrying normal people or having a relationship with normal people. I feel like this is like a relationship that you need to treasure for life. As maybe fundamentally wrong as it is, and like unlawful. How unlawful these people are. Host and I especially. Yeah. Oh, that was wonderful. I'm gonna be quite sad if this is how we end off. These two kind of splitting up. But warm. Or is it that cold? He certainly was sitting a while since he last had a bite. Yeah. Really sucks, doesn't it? And again, what need is there to be normal? I feel like that is what humans kind of strive for in a sense. I think that's what society breeds in humans, isn't it? The whole concept of society is to make people normal. But what is that? Who decided that? People that were here long before we were. I'm not going to say that's wrong or anything. I feel like society and such breeds good rules and such for people and good morals for people generally, but inevitably there are people that are exceptions to that. Salt. Suppose he doesn't want anything too sweet. Oh, and it was his girlfriend. Confirmed. What are those things, by the way? I think they're just like Japanese old school water bottles, are they? Don't really know. I see them in a few games, funny enough. Okami, which I played a few weeks ago. I think they were like, I don't know. I think it kind of looks like guy from Haikyuu from a while away. Kamaru. Really? Really? Ugh. I guess maybe Osa and I's done something similar. She sent a letter to that guy with the red hair. Lemon's voice actor from Makino. I think so. Very up front, this girl, isn't she? Fuck it. I think she doesn't even know his name. Quite crazy. How can you ask someone out and you don't know the first thing about them? Yeah, I feel that's pretty clear which way they side. I guess that wasn't what Sanai was doing. She wasn't sending a little love note. I was wishing a bit too much, I guess, wasn't it? Fucking newspaper club. Talk about a place where you you can't stand out. The fucking newspaper. Well, I guess in writing an article, if you write a really good article, yes, but it's usually what stands out in the news is usually about other people rather than what you write. So on. But this is awkward. Hold on, bro. Literally like a cat, isn't she? Yeah, I don't know what it was. Something tells me these guys. I mean, I think when we first saw, I think there was obviously something there, but I don't know what it is. There's something that does seem like these guys would be quite a good fit. Maybe again because he did just speak about to his friend his nature, and I think that goes quite well with. Again, slightly sad. Like I said, I feel like the bond those two had, Kabato and here I'm forgetting her name again, even though I've been saying it like 20 times this episode. Osanai. What the hell? That's where they're leaving us. Oh, is that the van? Yeah, with like the evidence in and stuff. Um, yeah. It's not like I absolutely wanted Kabato and Osanai to have a relationship, but like I said, I feel like there was something very special between them that's very unordinary. But that's what's so special, the fact that they are so different and they relate so much. It really I don't know. I guess like as a normal human in the real world, you kind of treasure that quite a lot. Someone that actually kind of relates to you because it seems quite rare. But yeah, interesting. And again, I can't say I'm the biggest fan of both of our main characters now going off with characters we only just met in the last 10 minutes of this episode. Like, I'm not a massive fan of that. I'm not sure if this is just like, is this it? Is there no source material left to cover? Is it just like a short manga, or is it the case where it does continue on from here? I definitely hope it continues on from here, because again I want a season 2. Also, again, I'm not that satisfied at this ending. I'm satisfied in the fact that they're moving on now, that they are trying to become ordinary, pursuing these normal people things like dating and so on. But yeah, it just seems a bit weird them being the characters that we've only just met today. I don't know. But yeah, I think this is the van. Yeah, that's the van that they used to capture Osanai, I believe. Not sure why they've shown us that either at the end. Again, maybe something that goes right over my head, probably. Yeah, thank guys for watching. Thank guys for watching this series in general. Like I said, not the most satisfying, but overall, again, I really enjoyed the series. Really enjoyed it. People say Hyoka is superior as well. A lot of people say that. Again, I've never seen it, so I will definitely be watching it. When I'll be watching it, I'm not 100% sure. I'm currently blasting through Parasite. I'm loving that at the minute. That's also got some not so humans, I guess you'd call them. But yeah, maybe we were hoping too much of it being like, yeah, I wouldn't even say again hoping, because it wasn't ever a thing of I was rooting for Kabato and Osanai. Like, I feel like their relationship was never romantic, but it also was, again, as hypocritical as that sounds. Like, it should have been like one of the most romantic things, but it never was. It was always getting quite cold, and they went into that zone of unordinary, we'll call it, the zone of detective and proper delinquent. Mischievous devil. But yeah. So I don't think, as much as there's a lot of illegal activities, I personally didn't think there was too much wrong in that. Like, some people, it might sound weird to say this, but like criminals, some people are born to be criminals. That's just the way that they've turned out. Like, it's that whole nature versus nurture thing, isn't it? Where maybe it's the environment you've been brought up in, or how you've been brought up, or the situations you face that turn you into a criminal, or maybe you were always just destined to be a criminal and have a criminal mind and to do horrible things. And I feel like that's maybe the case with Osanai and Kabato here. That maybe they were. We don't know much about their backstories, but I feel like that is very much in their nature. And they're the only two people that can really bond over with that. Maybe other criminals, who knows? But yeah. Again, really enjoyed the show. Really enjoyed a lot of the mysteries. I will say, I think barring the last arc, I think the last arc and last episode especially were really good. These last 3 episodes, again, today's not so much, because again, I'm not quite as satisfied, but episode 9, 7, 8, and 9 I thought were really awesome. 5 and 6 I thought were decent, but all of the one-off episodes before the halfway point I thought were fantastic, and I would have maybe liked to see more of them as well. I wish the series was just a bit longer than 10 episodes, but again, that might be all the length is. But yeah, again, thank you guys very much for supporting and watching these reactions. I've had an absolute blast, and I will be back if there is a season 2 or anything, and again, if not, I should be back at some point in the near future with Hyoka, if you guys are a fan of that. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this episode in the comment section, if you guys are more satisfied than I was, if you guys enjoyed the series as much as me. Leave a like on the video if you guys would like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date, and I'll see you guys yeah, soon, hopefully.